but she didn't respond. And then the next morning, like the day of the date, like no one was texting. So then like I had to tell him like maybe you should like text her again. And then she was like, oh yeah, like I was only gonna like send it to you like if you asked me again. So I was like, like maybe it's true. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Hold on, sorry guys. Wait. So just to be clear, let me try to recap it. She was talking to a guy. He asked, they were kind of setting up a date. They had set up a date. He requested her address to obviously go and pick her up. She didn't respond, and she knew, she got the text. She was only going to provide the address if he asked again.
Yeah.
That's
so like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, that's stupid.
Toxic.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Send the asteroid, boys. Yeah. Clown world. I mean, these are the games that are being played. So
this is just what I wanted to say really quick. You kept using the word carrying. The guy is, carrying because he has to message you first. He's carrying because he has to ask for your
guys
phone
have
number.
to do everything.
Everything. Oh my gosh,
men
it's
have
so
to do everything.
Like so taxing. He has to move his thumb so much.
No. It's more than that. But I'll go ahead.
But that's kind of what you're alluding to. If a guy won't message me first, if a guy wouldn't ask for my number, if a guy wouldn't like suggest the first date because it's too hard, it's too taxing, I'm obviously not worth it to him, and he's obviously not worth it to me. And you keep using this word carrying as if it's so much. If he won't message you first, he's not gonna be like, what makes you think he's gonna be a provider for you?
Well, there's a lot more to it than that. And by the way, men enjoy feeling appreciated. Right. Even a drop of you showing some mutual effort or initiative, most men will find that appealing. There are some like very masculine men that like, no, I have to do fucking everything, and like if the girl even initiates a little bit, then whatever. But like most men will genuinely appreciate you showing even a modicum of effort. When I say carrying, not to get nerdy, like, I mean, carrying is a video game term. Basically, to carry someone in a video game is you are basically, they're doing jack shit, and you are basically, you're killing all the enemies, and they're just sitting
I've
back.
played team sports. I understand what carrying means.
In the same way that there's like group projects.
But I thought we said men want to lead.
They do, but it's a burden. It's a burden, and also a lot of men want some degree of reciprocity. You would be surprised if you showed the same amount of effort that men put in. A lot of men would really appreciate that, and a lot of women make zero effort. But you say, oh, he's just moving his thumbs. There is like, men face rejection in ways that women don't. We have to make the initial approach. We're going to kind of carry that initial conversation. We're going to ask for the number. We're going to set the date. We're going to set the time. We're going to follow up. If you flake, by the way, most chicks flake on dates, and they're not going to give you 24 hours notice. You have a date on a Friday night. They're going to flake 3 hours before, and then it's very easy. You've done it, right? It's very easy for women to get another date like that. Most men, most guys, if you flake on them on a Friday, you've just scorched their Friday. They're not gonna find a replacement.
I mean, I've also been canceled on. It's so like,
men don't really flake at the same rate that women do. I'll say that. Women are incredibly flaky. In fact, I didn't bring this up. 9 girls flaked tonight. So if I've been a bit of a dad tonight, I have not been in a good mood. 9, or maybe it was like, 8 women were going to be on the show. Obviously, I found some last minute replacements. 8 women canceled. Like, okay. And imagine that in the dating world. And I've had a lot of experience with that. Women will flake. And I'm not even professional women, 30-year-old women who are professional women will literally, some bullshit excuse, will flake an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before the date. Over the dumbest fucking reason. Women are fickle and flaky, generally speaking. It happens all the time. I say this from experience. They flake.
So I have a question. There, you get flaked on by this woman. I'd be annoyed. I'd be pissed. Someone, caused me to commit to them for that night, whatever, and then they flaked on me. My initial reaction is like, okay, that's really but then I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I'm not going out with this person because they're a flaky person, and I don't want to go out with them anyways. I'm glad that they avoided wasting my time more than they already have.
It's
Well,
a favor.
I mean,
it's a favor, kind of.
perhaps. I mean, but what if it could have otherwise worked out? Sometimes the girl just gets
Yeah.
cold feet.
Yeah.
A lot of times girls get kind of cold feet, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it could have otherwise worked out. And then also, it's just like it doesn't undo the fact that my Friday night that I could have planned
Yeah.
with someone else is just
Totally.
scorched. Women, you guys, any of you could probably download Tinder tonight and a dude tonight. Almost no dudes can pull that off. So, to bring it back to carrying though, you mentioned, it's just texting. Every single step along the way, men have to do it. So asking for the date, getting the number, planning the date, showing up to the date, opening car doors, carrying the conversation on the date, paying for the date, trying to move it forward on the first date. If he can move it forward, hey, let's go back to my place. That's a move he has to make. Most girls aren't going to say, yo, let's go back to your place. The guy's going to have to take the initiative there.
Right.
Keep in mind, at each of these incremental steps, that's another opportunity for rejection. So there's always, men have like hundreds of steps along the way from just meeting you to a relationship.
Totally.
Tons of rejection points that really don't exist in women because they don't really make the move like that. So, okay, let's say you go back to his place, then he's going to have to move things forward physically. How's that going to play out? He's definitely going to have to go for the first kiss. Most women don't go for the first kiss. Then he's going to, how's he going to, there's a lot of logistical things that men think about that women don't really do.
So in my experience, I think about it. Like, sure, it's not just that the man is thinking about it. Women are also thinking about it. We're thoughtful creatures. Maybe the man does have to do it, but the point I want to make is
thinking about wanting
you have to take all these steps. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. How men value femininity. How feminine would it be if I was, making all these steps and doing let's go back to my place. Like, that wouldn't be so feminine. So what do you want from us? That's the question. I understand. You want, reciprocation and conversation. I'm there. I do that. That's all I can do. But, I want to be more feminine because I understand I can be masculine and I can do that on my own. And I'm trying to work on that. So what do you want?
I think it just is that women don't care how hard men have to work to garner our attention, to garner relationships with us. I think at the end of the day, we just don't care. Are you going to do it or not? Right? And I think that is something that people are just unwilling to admit. And I mean, it's completely okay to say out loud, I don't care how hard he worked for this. It's just, did you complete the mission or not? That's our perspective as women. We can't really empathize with men. And that's why men need to be talking to other men about how to approach relationships with women. What are you really going to learn from a woman about, you know what I mean? We're just we don't even really know. We're just, did it work or did it not? Right? And I think that's okay.
So yes, you make a good point. If a girl was perhaps really overt in these ways, we might deem it to be more masculine. And yes, so I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not so much that we're necessarily well, first off, we can't expect women to make the first move because frankly they don't. If I waited, if every girl that I've ever kissed, I waited for her to make the kiss, to do the first kiss, it would have never happened, and she would have either been like, this guy's a pussy.
Yeah.
Why is he not going for it? She would have lost interest because why is he not making the first move? Or it would have, honestly, she would have finally made the move.
Yeah.
3-4 dates down the line. More likely than not, though, if I didn't make the move, she would have just lost interest, be like, he's just not interested, or he's a coward. She's going to lose attraction. So it's not so much hey, you need to be a mirror image of ourselves, but I'm just trying to articulate men carry. We carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
we've got to
just
the conclusion that
and I